Hello everybody and welcome to the patch 14.4 review. This should be live by the time you guys see this video. Welcome my shiny shinners, or whatever it is we call you guys right now. I'm gonna start this with a rant because I'm very frustrated at this game right now. Season 14 started and Riot was off to a good, I would say a good start, right? They had the item rework. It wasn't great, but it looked promising. Things were doing well, right? And they have done nothing for 14.1, 14.2, 14.3. They have done nothing but absolutely screw up in the worst ways over and over and over. And it's gotten to the point where I've never seen balance this bad for probably a decade. It has probably been 10 years since, and I'm not just talking there's one S tier pick. We are currently at the point where there are like 5 champions where if your team or the opposing team gets them, you're probably going to win the game automatically. And what has Riot done? What have they done about this? Not enough. And what does this patch do? Some stuff, surely. I don't think this is a bad patch, but it doesn't do enough. So let's go into this patch, okay? And I'm going to be talking, in the past, I've talked a lot about, like, what's the right way to put it? I focused primarily on this patch. Like if I talk about a patch, I focus primarily on the patch. But right now, what I want to focus on a lot is what they are not doing. Because what Riot is not doing is starting to become more important than what they are doing, okay? So let's start. Aurelion Sol. Oh, Aurelion Sol. No, actually, we have to start with Ahri. Because of course we do. Because the same champions, they're just going to keep showing up and showing up and showing up and showing up. We're never going to move on to anything else. We're just going to have the same champions forever and ever. The same champions. Buff, nerf, buff, nerf. This is just going to be it. So we're on Ahri. This is Ahri's patch again. We're on Ahri. Okay. So her health growth is up from 96 to 104. Her Orbs of Deception AP ratio is up from 45% to 50%. That means Ahri now is a 50% AP ratio true damage nuke. Man, I wonder why damage feels so high right now. Could it be the non-stop, constant power creep that just happens every patch that leads to us having something like a 50% AP ratio true damage nuke? Surely not. No, sir. I remind you, when Syndra got a 15% AP ratio true damage nuke, that was like, whoa, what are we doing here, Riot? Now Ahri's up to a 50% AP ratio. Is it a huge buff? No, but it's just, like, I note this stuff because, like, to me, who looks at each patch and pays attention to each patch, right? It's so frustrating to me to see, oh, wow, here comes that damage creep again. And then a year from now, we'll be going like, oh, man, when did damage get so high? Because it's random stuff like this, man. I'm sorry. I'm very upset right now. I'm very annoyed at... I'm not going to stop, by the way. If you're very annoyed at me right now, I'm not going to stop. Go leave a comment. Type me a comment down below. Go, wow, Hashinshin, I hate you. You're very mad at me. And why don't you just read the notes like a normal person, right? This is my opinion. I'm giving you my opinions. You're here for my opinions. My opinion is, oh my God, could we stop buffing damage for once? So we go to Aurelion Sol. Oh, we're on Aurelion Sol. Let's talk about Aurelion Sol. So he was balanced. Then they buffed the ever-living crap out of him in the dumbest way I've ever seen, ever. You guys go back to the previous patch note. I literally thought that they must have left a patch note out. I literally thought there must have been a typo or something, because any normal human being could have seen that he was going to be one of the most broken champions of all time. And was I wrong? Did I miss some mark? No, he was 58% win rate, making him one of the most broken champions in League history. No one gets to 58% anymore, because normally we have a competent live design team that has 14 years of experience to draw from. But we threw that all out the window, I guess. So we got Asol. And he was the most broken champion this entire patch. Had to get hotfix nerfed. Still was overpowered. So what are we doing now? Well, I'm glad you asked. the AP ratio and base damage on his Q is going down. Now that is the bonus magic damage per second on his Q. So there you go. We took a champion who was balanced, and we absolutely obliterated the game's balance to try to rework them. I mean, I don't really understand, because they didn't just miss the mark. They like obliterated the mark. I don't even play the champion, and I was like, yo, basic goddamn math. I'm talking literal, like literal basic math told you how terrible these buffs were. Basic, I'm talking elementary. I'm talking literally just addition, not even like multiplication, okay? I'm talking like you take out your first grade calculator and you've been like, I don't know, these seem weird. Okay, let's move on to Bard. Now, Bard was broken, and then they said he's broken, and then they didn't nerf him, and then they didn't nerf him, and then they didn't nerf him. Why? Because they said they were working on it. We're working on it, guys. We're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on it. When does it ever get worked on? Man, it's been 2 months. No, I shit you not. No. I shit you not. We have literally been 2 months since this season started. Yes, that's right. You heard me right. That we're on patch 4. Each patch is 2 weeks. Yes, that means we are at the 2-month period. Yes, we are in there. We are at month number 2 of this season for a champion who has been broken the entire time is finally getting nerfed. We did it, guys. Really timely behavior on this. Don't even get me started on the next one. So armor growth is down from 5.2 to 5. Level 1 attack speed is going up. Attack speed ratio is going up. That's right. You build attack speed on Bard, and he will get more attack speed, and he will have more base attack speed. So he attacks more. He attacks faster. He attacks livelier. It's whatever. However, every 5 chimes, his damage has gone down from 15 per 5 chimes down to 10 per 5 chimes. That's right. That is a nerf to Bard's damage. His scaling, in fact, as the game proceeds. However, his Q damage is also going down. That's right. At rank 5, the Q damage is going down by 260 to 240. And the AP ratio is going from 65% to 80%. That's right, guys. Bard will do less damage baseline, but if you build attack speed on him, he will do more damage. And if you build ability power on him, he will also do more damage. I forgot they also buffed the AP ratio on his passive. That's an AP ratio buff on his passive, and that's an AP ratio buff on his ultimate. Despite me being the saltiest man alive right now, I bring you the patches, and I tell you what they mean. What does this mean? This means if you... They want Bard to build more damage. Ability power, I guess I should say. They want Bard to build more ability power, and they want him to build less tank. Will he do that? Very, very unlikely. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think they actually thought anyone was going to build ability power. They just want to give you the funny option to build AP Bard and do lots of damage, because it'll be funny. Probably not for your team. They'll hate you, but it'll be funny for you, because you'll see those blue numbers be bigger than they were before. Fiora. Wow, that's shocking. A nerf to Fiora? Now, I wonder how long Fiora's been broken. I mean, surely not for, I don't know, just every single patch. Well, let's see here. Patch 14.1, that's a 54% win rate. That's pretty crazy. Patch 14.2, she's up to a 52.53% win rate. That's crazy. On this patch, she is now the 3rd highest picked top laner, 19% ban rate, 52.2% win rate. Wow, after 2 months, we figured out what the numbers mean. The numbers mean she might be a little bit overpowered. That's crazy. Honestly, that's why they get paid 6 figures, because they get to sit here and take 6 goddamn months to look at this and go, hey guys, I think Fiora might be a little bit OP. You think? Do you think? Right? Do you think the new items might be a little bit good on her? I don't know. Maybe they would be. You'd have to play the champion once in your life, literally ever. But you know what that would mean? The problem with that suggestion I just made, okay? No one at Riot plays top lane. So no one would have played Fiora. So no one would have figured out how broken these items were on her. It took them 2 months. They probably never even looked at the win rate of top lane. Because why do they give a fuck? So what are we doing? What is a massive nerf we are doing to try to bring this champion down in line? The attack speed slow on her W is going from 50% down to 25%. Yes, that's right. That means that if you are playing Fiora and you hit someone with a riposte that doesn't actually riposte anything, now you still weirdly get a huge attack speed debuff, but now it's only 25% instead of 50%. Will this balance her? I mean, it'll certainly make her bad matchups worse. That's about it. I mean, if she still parries anyone, they still die for full. That still means that several characters in League of Legends probably aren't going to be playable so long as Fiora can ever be picked. What does that mean? Yes, you are correct. You are correct. That means that anyone who ever gets countered by Fiora continues to have to ban Fiora for the next 19 years. Because she ain't ever getting nerfed down to a reasonable level. We're just going to make her bad matchups worse and not actually fix the goddamn problem. That is, there's nothing you can do if you're weak into Fiora. The only thing you can do is ban her. Even when she's weak, she maintains a 10% ban rate because several champions just have to ban her. Ilawi. Okay, I'll be nice to Riot on this one. I didn't actually expect this to be this broken, but I'm going to be blunt with you. I've played against this champion, and I think the only singular reason that Ilawi even remotely looks balanced is because you can go champions like Aatrox, avoid her melee, and run her down. Or you can go champions like Mord and Alter, or you can go Corsante and knock her away from her tentacles. I'm going to be completely blunt with you. As of right now, if any champion actually has to fight this champion in melee, if anyone needs to actually engage or interact with Ilawi in any way that involves her melee range, then there's nothing you can do and you are dead, and it is a dead matchup. This champion is absolutely nutty right now, which is kind of my point. Although it was an oversight, although I do understand because I didn't see it coming either, we still have another champion who entered S tier. Another S tier champion on this patch. That's right. We had Ilawi, we had Fiora, we had Bard, we had Asol. What the fuck is happening, dude? Why are there so many broken champions talking about that? Let's move on to Jace. Why? Because for some reason, someone at Riot looked at Jace and they said, man, this champion is so fun to fight. Boy, I really wish he was viable. Why is that? Because nobody at Riot plays top lane, and they think to themselves, Jace must be fun for someone. No, it's not fun. It's not fun for anyone. You know what it is like? You know what it's like when you guys buff Jace? It's like you guys are just pouring ice on the sidewalk, and you're watching people slip on the ice and break their back, and you're going, ha, look at that. That was so funny. But you know what, top laners, we're the ones who have to walk on the sidewalk. And surely we don't enjoy the sidewalk being iced over for your amusement. And this, Jace, is the ice. No one enjoys fighting Jace. No one has any enjoyment. No one is ever satisfied fighting Jace. I assure you, it sucks. Maybe we could just leave him in the shitter, never talk about him, and we pretend that he never actually got released into the game. Anytime someone says, Jace, oh, are you going to give him a skin? Are you going to buff him? You go, I've never heard of that champion. But no, here we are, and we're buffing Jace, because it's fun. You're having fun, right, everybody? Now, surely we're just giving him a small little buff, like a base damage buff, one of the biggest buffs you can do. No, why stop there? Let's give him more mana restore, because after he automatically wins the trade, then goes to start restoring his mana, that's what's fun. I love it when a champion is balanced by high mana costs, and also his mana costs aren't even high anymore, and also he gets free mana. That's how we do balance. And then we're going to buff the magic damage per second on his W. Why? I don't know. Does anyone know anymore? Does anyone even understand life anymore? Oh, but then we're also buffing the thing that made his win rate go low. We're making Thundering Blow now root you at the start of cast. That means, yes, if you are playing somebody like Lee Sin, or you're playing Jax, or you're playing Aurelia, or you're playing Aatrox, or really any champion with a dash, it will now, at the start of Thundering Blow, it will root your character, knock them down out of any gap closers they're using, and then knock them away. Because massive mechanical buffs to a champion should always be accompanied by massive stat buffs. This has never gone poorly. And in fact, I will very much enjoy wanting to die every time I have to play against this stupid goddamn champion. You guys never thought you would see Kosante in the patch note. Another rework for Kosante? Again? That's crazy. Insane, you might say. Kosante in a patch note? I have never seen Kosante in a patch note. Has he ever been patched before? Well, here we go. What are we doing with Mr. Sante? Now, let me explain this to you guys. Let me explain why Kosante is so frustrating right now. Before we even get into any of these notes, before we even talk about him, before we even look at him, before we do any analysis whatsoever, what makes this champion so frustrating? He is a champion who was taken off of the laning phase, effectively. He is so weak in the laning phase now, it is basically impossible to beat anyone with him. Even if you play pretty goddamn well, even if you hit all your things, you can't beat people in the laning phase. So what does he do? He scales. He scales really, really good. Unfortunately, he also punishes anyone who tries to go aggro on him by knocking them into his turret and killing them. The more aggro you try to play on Kosante, the more chances he gets to murder you for free using his knockbacks and stuff and fun kit that knocks you into the turret. However, you have to play aggressive into him because he's a late game champion and now he scales really well. And if you don't play aggressive and if you just trade farm with him, he outscales you and you lose the game. So what are they going to do? They've made this champion very frustrating because the more aggro you play into him, the stronger he gets. But he also outscales you by default. Very good champion for pro play, that one. You always want a champion like that because it makes your opponent do a misplay and then you capitalize on it. And you knock them into a knock them, into a knock them, and then they're stunned in your turret and you go, haha, the Kosante special. So what are we doing? His base health is up by 55. Ooh, pretty good base health right there. His base mana is up by 30. Ooh, pretty good mana right there. His Q no longer slows during his ultimate. Interesting change. I believe they added that because they wanted him to not have to always go Iceborne Gauntlet. But, you know, admitting a mistake is also good. Certainly, he probably shouldn't be slowing and killing people just by reaching level 6. Probably a bad idea. The bonus armor ratio and bonus magic resist ratio in his W is going up considerably. That's right. You now get 85% of your bonus armor and 85% of your bonus magic resist as damage on your W. That's a lot. No, seriously, that actually is a lot. I mean, I'm not doing a bit right now. That's actually a lot of damage. In fact, let me compare that just so you can kind of get perspective on this. Malphite's W gives him 15% of his armor on his auto attacks. Now, it's only going to be on the one Pathmaker, yes, but 85%. That's a lot. Let me just be clear. That's a lot of damage. Okay, that's a lot of damage. Okay, so don't think that's not a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Okay, I'm just saying that so you guys have some perspective on all this. Okay. When you are in your ultimate, the minimum channel time on your W is no longer reduced, meaning you need to spend the full 0.75 seconds. Then, being in your ultimate no longer reduces the cooldown on your W, which I didn't even know it did, and I read all the patch notes. This, maybe the tooltips should actually say everything. I don't know, that'd be good. Then his E, dash speed is down from 1500 to 900. Ally dash speed from 1800 to 1100 plus movement speed. All out dash speed from 2100 to 1450. What does this mean? It means Kosante is going to be a lot slower and more predictable. But, well, okay, let me try to say this as a whole. Basically, what they're trying to do is nerf all-out Kosante really hard. So Kosante can't just get all-out and then immediately sprint you down. When he's in all-out, he can no longer slow with his Q by default. He can still with Iceborne Gauntlet, but not by default. And certainly not by 80%, which is what his Q slows by. You no longer reduces the channel time on his W. So in all out, you can't just use his W as a super gap closer to just immediately run people down and massacre them. Then its cooldown is no longer reduced, which again, I didn't even know. Not really that relevant, but I don't think really should have been there in the first place. It didn't say it was, so okay. But then he's much slower in his E. So that means if he's in all out and he E's forward into a Q3 knockup, you have much more time to react to that because now he's much slower. It also means during the laning phase, he can't dodge skill shots as easily. And it means that when he's dashing to minions, you also get more time to react to him dashing to minions. He's just much slower. Needs to spend more time in his W when he's ulting. Doesn't slow in his Q in his ultimate. But in return, he is healthier and has more mana. For some of you, you're probably thinking to yourself, do I really need to know all this? Is this all important? Will this be on the test? I assure you, we will probably be back here in 2-3 weeks doing another Cosante rework. Why? Because, oh my god, why is there a champion in the game who scales well but punishes you for trying to play aggressive on them? Does Riot not realize that basically stops you from playing aggressive on him, which allows him to always get into late game? Because that's it. I mean, that's what it does. It allows him to always get into late game, because if you ever try to play aggressive on him, he just goes for the funny outplay. And sure, sometimes you can dodge it, and sure, sometimes you can outplay it, and sure, sometimes you don't get hit by it, but he only needs to do it once. And when he gets one kill on you, he immediately loads up on all the things he needs. Are you a magic damage champion? He buys all the MR. Are you a physical damage champion? He buys all the armor. And then the next time he comes back into the lane, he's running up to you and meleeing you to death because, oh wait, now he's got a shitload of resistances and you can't really hurt him that much. I'm trying to say here, Mr. Sante, very frustrating champion. Kai'Sa. Okay. Kai'Sa. The cast range on her ultimate is going up at the early levels. I don't know, man. It's like one of those things where it's like, they want to buff the champion, but they don't want to like buff the champion, so they kind of buff something that's not really a buff. And you can see here in the wording, Kai'Sa's been pretty weak this season, but has begun to find her footing with Eclipse and Static Shiv starts, blah, 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 blah. They're kind of trying to like buff her in a way that like people like go, oh, I want to play Kai'Sa. And then they go look up her best builds and they go, oh my God, that looks like a good build. And then you go do that and her win rate goes up because now you're being smarter. Do you guys get it? Okay. It's kind of like a placebo, but it's also a buff, but it's not like a real buff. Okay. Anyway. Kalista. Now that much of the season start dust is settled, Kalista has found herself as one of the premier bot laners in pro play. Wow, that's crazy. I have literally, in all my life, I promise you this, in all my life, I've never seen Kalista dominate pro play. Ever. It's a good thing we randomly, routinely buff her, because then she goes and dominates pro play. Again, every single time. Isn't that crazy? It's kind of like another champion that starts with Z. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, in a totally unforeseen situation, Kalista started dominating pro play. Unheard of, but you know what? Gotta give it to Riot. It was pretty hard to read, right? Like how could we have foreseen this? It has only happened literally every season, literally every time without fail. Literally every time, 100% of times. How are we supposed to know from all the 100% of times without fail that it happened that it might happen again? Unforeseeable. Okay. Bug fix. Kalista now properly gains dash distance with basic boots of speed, which is good for her. Not for me. I'm going to be annoyed. For her, probably pretty good. However, Ren's damage is coming down by 10. 10 flat. Not the per stack. The per stack is the same, but just 10. Anytime you proc it, does 10 damage. Do you have 1 stack? 10 less damage. Do you have 900 stacks? 10 less damage. Do you guys get it? Okay. Kalista was absolutely destroying pro play, so we nerfed her damage by 10. This fixes the problem forever, and we will never see Kalista in another patch now. Because she's fixed forever. Fixed forever. Never gonna be here again. Never will you guys hear me say the words Kalista, for now she has reached balance. We've done it. Okay. Lulu. I'm just having like deja vu. Lulu. Okay. So you guys might not know this, but Lulu's Q, when you put picks on someone, Pix and Lulu both shoot out her Q, her glitter lance. Okay. In the good old days, that used to do only the damage of the first glitter lance. If you hit them with 2 glitter lances, it didn't do any additional damage. They changed it so it does 25% additional damage if you hit the second one. They're now buffing it so it hits for 50% damage if you hit the second one. So if you hit both glitter lances on the same target, it now does 150% damage. I assure you, it's really not that hard to hit both of them. Well, for support players, it's probably hard. For anyone with any normal amount of skill, it's probably not that hard. Okay. Then the magic damage on her Help Pix is going up, and the shield value on her Help Pix is also going up. The damage is going up by 20 at rank 5. The shield is going up by 25 at rank 5. They're both going to be 260. It's synonymous. It just works. Then the AP ratio on her ultimate is going up. One thing that I think Riot, what's the right way to put this? One thing I think Riot should be careful with is, boy oh boy, there's a lot of things that scale on HP. And giving Lulu a lot of HP that she can give to another champion can often be unforeseen consequences type deal. So just something to think about. Otherwise, not really that big a deal. Lulu's not doing great right now. I saw they were originally considering buffing Polymorph, and I swear to you, chat, I swear to you, everyone, this time I was going to do it. If they buffed Polymorph, this time I was really going to do it. I was going to quit League of Legends forever. But they didn't buff Polymorph, so I guess we don't have to. Okay, Maokai. Wow, that's crazy. Actually, I gotta talk about it. You know why I gotta talk about it? Because I just gotta. Let's talk about Maokai. He's doing pretty well this season. How well is he? Well, let's see. He has a 54% win rate. Oh, wait, that was the first patch of the season. How's he doing on the second patch of the season? Yeah, that's right, a 56% win rate. How's he doing on the third patch of the season? Oh, wow, look at that, a 54.74% win rate. Wow, that's great. Surely they balanced him. Nope, he's just been an S+ tier auto win in bot lane support for this whole time. Nothing has been done, and it's just been 2 months of, hey man, I hope I get Maokai. Now look, I've gotten my LP too. Look, whenever I get autofilled support, what do? I lock in Maokai. You know why? Because sometimes people don't ban him, and then I get autofilled, and I go, why not get my free LP? And then I go play Maokai, and I get my free LP. Works for me, but maybe it doesn't work for the game's health, and maybe it should have taken 2 months to do something. I'm gonna go horse. I got maybe like 10 more minutes in me before my voice actually goes out. So we got about like 10 more minutes. So good job, Riot. Good job. Wow. After 2 months, you might have noticed that, wow, this is you know, maybe a bit too much. Maybe a bit too powerful of a champion to have around that much. You know, I really hope, and this is just, oh shoot, I accidentally opened up freaksop.gg. I sure hope that, oh no, oh geez, his most played is Maokai. Oh geez, oh no. And he's been broken the entire season. Oh gee, I didn't want to show that. What a coincidence. Anyway, base stats. Base armor from 39 to 35. Good job. You nerfed his armor, I guess. I mean, he's dead in the jungle and in top lane, but I mean, maybe the problem was his automatic point and click W being kind of a free kill, but I guess we're not going to talk about that. Okay. Bramble Smash. Okay. Bramble Smash. That's his Q. Damage down by 5. 5%? No, just 5. Just 5. 5 damage. Nature's Grasp, the root duration from 0.8 to 2.6 to 0.75 to 2.5. That's right. Less duration on his Nature's Grasp, 5 less damage on Bramble Smash, and 4 less armor. That is apparently enough to take away a 54% win rate champion. I highly suspect we're going to be here again in 2 weeks, tops. We'll be back. You guys will see it, won't you? You'll miss me. You'll be like, wow, where was your patch note thing? Where was it? You know, you were talking. Yep. Okay. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, dude. What is wrong? Can we just, like, seriously, dude, like, I'm not even being mean. Am I being mean? I'm not being mean. Dude, it's been 2 months and you're maining the champion. Okay? Like, I'm not trying to say there's maybe some insider trading going on here, but I am willing to say I'm starting to suspect there might be some insider trading going on here. Okay? I'm just trying to say that maybe there was some bias here as to the length of time it took to nerf this champion, and maybe there's some bias here as to how light you're going with the nerfs to an S+ tier Giga automatic win pick. 51% win rate is the lowest I'll give him after these nerfs. I'll say it, maybe these nerfs are worth a good 3% win rate. Maybe, but that still makes him one of the most annoying champions that should definitely not be in the support role. So, I got nothing. I got nothing. Dude, it's like they made easy mode Nautilus. Someone looked at Nautilus and was like, damn, that champion, he's too complicated for me. Couldn't we get someone easier into bot lane? Rek'Sai. Okay, I do have some cool... Oh, boy. Okay, do I want to go through all this? I don't know that much time. Let me read... Okay, so... I'm gonna have to go through the gist of it. We're not going through every little detail. Okay, fine. We'll go through every little detail. Just because you guys like hearing my voice, I'll do it. Okay. So basically, Rek'Sai's... Okay, I'll go over the gist of it. Let's talk about it. Okay. They want to push Rek'Sai away from being funny one-shot and more into having a longer bruiser-ish playstyle. Okay? So, funny one-shot Rek'Sai, they want to murder. Cool bruiser Rek'Sai, they want to push. Okay, how are they going to achieve that? Okay, her base movement speed is up by a little bit, not quite bruiser level, but only 5 below now, so pretty good. Her base health regen has been butchered into the ground, but I assure you this makes sense. That's because the maximum healing has gone from 2 to 10% of her health to 12 to 20% of her health. Wowee, that's double the healing. Okay. Fury generation from non-champions is now reduced by half. That's right. If you now want the most Fury, you will have to hit champions. You'll have to hit real things that can fight back. But jungle counts too. So minions, plants, and wards restore 50% less Fury. Monsters in the jungle still restore full. This reads like that and does that instead. So less base health regen, way more healing from her passive. Potentially this might have been done to try to keep her out of top lane. The massive base health regen nerf, but you know, I don't peer into the mind of Riot. I can just guess as to what they're trying to do. Okay. Queen's Wrath now functions as a basic attack instead of a spell, meaning total attack time and time between attacks is based on Rek'Sai's actual attack speed. Queen's Wrath now grants 45% bonus attack speed for its 3 attacks. Yeah, wait. Isn't that how it used to be anyway? Didn't Rek'Sai used to get attack speed on her Q anyway? Do you guys remember that? Am I crazy? No, that is her ultimate gave attack speed, right? Man, Rek'Sai's been reworked a lot. Anyway, so basically her Q will now be faster, but it was already kind of faster, so now it's going to be just as fast. It's complicated. Basically, it's complicated. I'm not going to go into it. You guys, you get it. You're all smart people. You know exactly what's happening here. Okay. Her burrowed Q, where she goes, pew, pew, that ability. Okay. The cooldown's going from 12 to 10 to a flat 10. The damage, the base damage is going down by a little bit. Actually by a lot. Okay. So it's being changed from physical damage to magical damage, but the base damage is down by 10 to 30. And the scaling is down by 50% bonus AD to 25% bonus AD. So that's a thing. I mean, I don't see any world where that's a buff, but I guess they just want to get some of her magic They want to get some of her damage onto magic damage so it doesn't scale with lethality. And they probably just went for a Q because it was kind of obvious. Okay. Her W, Burrow. Her vision's going from 25% of her vision to 35% of her vision, which is great. Her bonus movement speed when burrowed is, instead of 5 to 15, is now 5 to 25. But, so now when you put points in your W, you get more movement speed. You don't just get movement speed just by being a higher level. It used to be at level 1, 6, 11. Now it's whatever rank of the ability. So if you put 5 points in W, you get 25 movement speed while burrowed. Everybody get it? Okay. Unburrow. Unburrow is now an AoE 1-second knockup, like how it used to be. Shockingly, Riot seems to have remembered that maybe Bruiser / Tank Rek'Sai having an AoE knockup was maybe healthier for the game than Lethality Rek'Sai doing a flash knockup one-shot. Because, boy, that was healthy and fun, and everyone enjoyed it. I sure did. Unburrow, now instead of doing physical damage, does magical damage. But the rank 5 damage has... Oh, wait, no, it's just a massive Giga Nerf. No, instead of 50 to 190, it's 50 to 150, so 40 less damage at rank 5. And it looks like the physical damage scaling has been removed entirely. So there's no more physical damage scaling on Unburrow, but it is an AoE knockup, so cool. Okay, Tunnel. The cooldown on her Tunnel is going from 26 to 18 to 18 to 14. It's not double the tunnels, but it's more tunnels. So I can't use my catchphrase. That's double the tunnels because it's not double, it's just more. The tunnel reuse cooldown is going from 10 to 2 to 6 to 2. So she can reuse her tunnels way more often, even earlier in the game, which is great. Okay, the movement speed is going from 550 plus movement speed from boots to 500 plus total movement speed. In other words, it's going to be faster. Like, yeah, it's going to be faster. Okay. Remove the 0.05 second hitch when manually casting Tunnel. So basically, if you manually casted Tunnel, there's a 0.5 seconds before it would go off, and now there's not. If you right-clicked it, it didn't do that, but if you manually casted it, it did, which is a really weird... Because, like, if you right-click it, it just runs into range and then uses it, right? So it's just blatantly better, and everyone uses it that way. So that's weird that it was even there, I guess, but okay. Rek'Sai begins taking already placed tunnels roughly 20% faster. So basically when she dives into a tunnel that was already there, she now dives in 20% faster. So that should be helpful in allowing her to use tunnels more. Yeah. Okay. Ferocious Bite. Instead of 5 to 25 base damage with 70% AD, it's now just 100% all AD. Then at 100 Fury, instead of doing 2 times damage as true damage, it now does 6 to 14% of target's maximum health. As true damage? As physical damage? As magical damage? I don't know. It doesn't say. Once again, the patch notes are brilliant with no flaws. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't say. 6 to 14% of the target's maximum health. It just does it. I don't know which damage type. I can't say. Cooldown's going from 12 to 10, which is probably good. That ability had a ludicrous cooldown, but it's because it did ludicrous damage. Okay, Flashy. E now displays a cosmetic critical strike when fully empowered. Cool. Yeah, I mean, that'll be funny. Because now people are going to ask me, what do you guys, you're going to tippy type in the comments, aren't you? Does Omen reduce the damage from Furious Bite? Is Omen a good purchase into Rek'Sai? Swear to God, I'm going to get that question. Void Rush. Physical damage. Instead of 100 to 400, it's now 100. Okay, wait, what? Okay, so the bonus AD ratio on Void Rush went from 175% to 100%. Okay, so in other words, it looks like what they did Rek'Sai heals a lot more, and her tunnels are way more usable, but in return, her AD ratios have been reduced pretty considerably, and I mean, that's about it. Her AD ratios are lower, but she can use her tunnels way better, and her passive, when she's burrowed and she's healing, that heals her for a lot more. Everybody get it? So she should play more like a bruiser, and she should be able to use the tunnels more, but she shouldn't just be like flash unburrow one shot. Also, it's very important to note the AoE knock-up on her unburrow is extremely powerful. Okay. Ronnie Boy Ekton. Okay. Let's look at Ronnie Boy Ekton. Simply put, Renekton is quite bad in his current state and is desperate need of some help. Once again, like I hate to be this guy. I hate to be the guy who continues to bring this shit up, but like Renekton on 14.1 was literally the lowest win rate. On 14.2, he was the second lowest win rate, second only to Smolder Top. On 14.3, he is the third lowest win rate. Cyan's getting no buffs, by the way. Suffice it to say, I do believe that Renekton did need some looking into before this patch. Now, I will say that there are some builds for Renekton that are doing not even that bad. The Eclipse build is showing a lot of promise. So, that's all I have to say. The Eclipse build is showing some promise, although the completed win rate seems to be about the same as a normal build. On a rush, Eclipse is doing pretty good. So, at any rate, Renekton he's pretty underpowered right now. So what are they going to do to buff him? What are they going to do to fix him? How are they going to make him viable? Well, I mean, that's literally what I'm here for. I mean, I'm reading you the patch notes, so obviously I'm going to tell you what they're going to do, right? Like, okay. Instead of his Q heal being 12 to 36, it's now 12 to 44. Ooh wee. Then the healing is going from 15% to 17%. I should mention this is only the champion healing. Minion healing is unaffected. I should also mention that it is tripled on a rage Q. That is right, tripled on a rage Q. That is right. That will do a lot. That will do a lot of healing, in fact. Okay. Slice, his E, is having its cooldown reduced from 16 to 12 to 16 to 10, which is aggressive. That is aggressively pushing that cooldown down. I'm not sure about this one. I'm gonna be blunt with you. I'm gonna level with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. That seems like an aggressive reduction to cooldown. That will certainly make Renekton a lot more mobile. At any rate, he will definitely be more mobile. I'm just wondering, is it too mobile? Then his ultimate is also being buffed because you thought we were done, and we're not done. I mean, you can see it on your screen. I'm doing a bit, obviously. Obviously, there's more. Like, you saw it, right? Okay. Dominus is going up. Instead of 250 to 550 HP, it's 300 to 700 HP. That's 50 more HP at level 6 and 150 more HP at level 16. That's a lot of HP. Well, I mean, it kind of is. It's like a little bit more. But 50 HP does matter. That does matter. Because 50 more HP means you could potentially survive an extra auto attack. Especially with those level 6 death matches, surviving one extra auto attack can be the make or break. Okay. Smolder. Okay. So basically what they're doing, they're going to nerf Smolder's Achoo in the early game a little bit. The damage at rank 1 is going down. The damage at rank 5 is going up. The AP ratio on the ability is going down. Did I say the cooldown? The cooldown is going up at rank 1. It's going down at rank 5. Basically, level 1 W is going to be weaker, which is good because, oh my god, it was actually kind of doing an absurd amount of damage. I'm not going to lie to you. I had to fight Smolder the other day, and, well, the other day, I mean today. I was fighting him today. I won, obviously, because I always win. But, oh my god, his level 1 was like chunking a fourth of my health. And then by level 2, he was chunking like a third of my health with just his QW. And I was like, what is going on here? Fortunately, I was Aatrox with Second Wind and Doran Shield. But I'm going to be blunt. I don't think anyone without Second Wind and Doran Shield would be able to lane into this monster right now. So it's really good that they're actually kind of, dealing with the problem before it becomes a disaster. Okay. So the Q fireball is being adjusted a little bit to be less powerful, but also powerful. There's okay, what are they doing here? I need to read this to fully comprehend, because like there's this stuff like dragon patience stacks and stuff, and I'm like, I understand, I'm pretty sure, but I don't want to be 100%. Okay. So basically, quality of life improvements and bug fixes. Okay. Oh, sorry. I used all my energy yelling, and now I'm tired. Okay, so what do we got here? Basically, in summation, his W is worse at rank 1, better at rank 5. That's about it. Some other changes here, they're not really that important. They don't really seem to do much. They just want to nerf his early game Achu a little bit and buff it in the late game. Now, I'm not sure he needed a late game buff, but whatever. What are you going to do? Oh, boy, Soraka, this is going to be so fun. Okay, so we're buffing Soraka. Why? I don't know. God hates me. And her passive is being buffed. Why? Because it's the most annoying part of her kit. It's the most annoying part of her kit when an ally is at low HP. And then Soraka's just going wee-woo, 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 and doing the ambulance, wee, 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 and she's running around, and she's outrunning Hecarim. You got Hecarim is trying to chase her down, Zillion is trying to chase her down, and you just got Soraka in heals, literally, because she has heals, by the way. She's going, but anyway, her bonus movement speed from her passive when an ally is at low HP is going from 70% to 90%. That's a lot of movement. Seriously, that is a freakish amount of movement. I don't like this change at all, in fact. Then her Q is being buffed to have 10 more total healing. And then E now silences enemies in the area instantly rather than after a variable delay. That's probably good. You do want your abilities to do what they say they do. And then Wish's cooldown is going down by 10 seconds. Okay. Soraka, stronger. That's about it. Then 90% movement speed towards low HP allies. That will certainly be very fun to deal with when Soraka is running away from me, literally at the speed of a permanent goddamn movement speed buffed Zillion. Okay, cool. Thresh is getting buffed because obviously when all the win rate for supports is being stolen by a couple broken supports, the only thing you can do is immediately react and buff one of the historically best supports in the game. Seriously, I don't like this guy. But his base armor is going up by 3, which is good. His flay damage is going up by 20 at rank 5, which is good. And then Dabox is having its cooldown reduced by 20, which is very questionable. Dabox was given a longer cooldown because it's kind of a very effective kill move. It do be killing people. It do be killing people. Do it. Okay. Oh, God. This right here, this is why this entire video is salty. This fine fellow, this hat-wearing maniac. Okay. So, currently, Twisted Fate is basically S plus Giga tier. Flexible into 3 different lanes, bot and top and mid. Overpowered in bot and top and mid. Overperforming in bot and top and mid. He is, like, seriously, like one of the most broken champions of all time. I know I just said that for another one, but we're back again. I don't think I've ever seen a champion again, like, it has been so long since I have seen a champion who is literally broken in 3 different roles. That's crazy. That means top laners are first timing him and doing good. Mid laners are first timing him and doing good. And bot laners are first timing him. And also, they are also doing good. Which is crazy when you think about it, right? Because that means literally everyone is picking up, literally across all of League of Legends, anyone picks up this champion and plays him, and they are doing good. Literally, like you got top laners. Dude is playing Darius, Garen, Alawi, and then he picks up Twisted Fate. First time's Twisted Fate. Never played a mage before in his life. Never played an AD carry before in his life. But he wants to play Twisted Fate because he likes the fedora. And he plays him and somehow he wins every game because the champion is just that broken. So what are they doing? What are they balancing on this massively giga-busted champion who is building attack damage? I assure you he is building a lot of attack damage and he's destroying everyone with this attack damage. So of course they're nerfing his AP ratios. No, I am not joking. I am not joking. Despite AD Twisted Fate being the preferable way to play him and being monstrously giga mega ultra super overpowered, they are only nerfing his AP ratios. His attack speed growth is going from 3% to 2.5%, which is, yeah, I mean, cool, awesome, interesting. Not really relevant, though, is it? Then his pick a card is having its AP ratio nerfed on blue card. That's right, we're nerfing blue card. We're balancing Twisted Fate forever by nerfing blue card. You know I keep making this joke, but it keeps being relevant. We are definitely not going to see Twisted Fate back in 2 weeks, are we? No, sir, no, sir. Twisted Fate, he's out of the patch notes forever. We're not seeing him 2 weeks from now in another patch note. He's going to be balanced forever this time. We did enough. We balanced him. We nerfed the AP ratio on his E, and we nerfed the AP ratio on blue card. So he's balanced. Seriously, these people make a lot of money balancing this game. I feel like I could do the same job by not doing anything. I think by literally not doing anything, actually the game would be in a better state. But okay. Varus currently has 2 viable builds. Blah, 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 blah. Varus's base damage is down. Why? Pro play. Varus in pro play, you say. Varus? My Varus in pro play? Unheard of. Unacceptable. I've never seen Varus dominate pro play. I assure you, Varus is doing good in pro play. For the first time in his entire life, Varus is being a average solo queue pick while dominating pro play. Never seen it before. Unheard of. Volley, 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 bear, 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 volley, volley, bear, bear, volley, bear, volley, bear, bear, volley, volley, bear, bear, volley, bear, volley, bear, bear. Okay, anyway. Volley bear's getting giga buffed. How big buffed? Probably enough that, especially with his new item build, which I might make a video on later, but probably enough that with his new item build, he will be very, very, very powerful. Leave a comment if you want to see me go over that. Or don't, if you don't want to see me go over it. I mean, either's fine, really. So anyway, the movement speed on his Q is going up from 8 to 24% to 12 to 28%. And they do note that's doubled about opposing champions. So at level 1... I should say at rank 1, instead of having a mere 16% movement speed towards opposing champions, it's now 24% movement speed. That's nearly double the movement speed. Well, I mean, it's 50% more, which is nearly double the movement speed. No, seriously, that's actually pretty good. Particularly good early game, but also late game, still pretty good. His E cooldown's going from 13 to 12. Why? More shields, more damage, more shields. Yay. Foley Bear, more shields. Then his ultimate is being nerfed and buffed a little bit. The turret disable duration is going from 3 to 5 to 2 to 4. That's right. Less turret disable. But then the cooldown is going from 160 to 120 to 130 to 100, which is rather significant. Foley Bear is an extremely powerful ultimate that does a lot of damage. And due to that, he can use his ultimate to get a lot of kills. And, reducing the cooldown helps him out a lot. Although it does have less turret disable duration. So he will be able to turret dive less, but he will be able to turret dive more often. Personally, I'm a little bit worried about this because this seems to be pushing him particularly hard in the jungle when they want him to be more of like a top laner. I mean, I don't think they really care, but I think like in their mind, he's a top laner. But like, turret disable on a jungler with less cooldown, blocking 2 turret shots, 2 seconds of turret shots is going to be about 2 turret shots. Blocking 2 turret shots is about all you need to guarantee that a dive works out like 100% of the time. Okay. However, his ultimate is also getting another nerf. Instead of being immune to all CC during his ultimate, he's now only unstoppable. That means things like gold card will stun you. You used to be able to immune through gold card. You used to be able to immune through Morgana route, stuff like that. You do still move. You can't be stopped. Like knockbacks, things like that, you immune. But any CC, like again, Gold Card, Morgana Root, Annie Stun, Braum Passive, any of that sort of stuff, you'll continue to move, but you will be stunned. So once you land, your character is going to be stunned. Everybody got it? Okay. Zyra is being nerfed? Yes. Zyra's plant damage is going down by 4, but she will do 20 more damage to the jungle. So basically, Brand Jungle worked out so well and is so beloved and everyone loves it that now we're bringing in Zyra Jungle. Because, I don't know, man. Black Cleaver. We got some good news here, everybody. Good news for all the Black Cleaver fans. The fans of the Cleaver. The Black Cleaver fans, okay? The carve damage. Okay, let me explain this, okay? Basically, instead of stacking to 24%, it's going to stack to 25%, but it will do it over 5 stacks instead of 6 stacks. Now, to be clear for everyone, that means if I hit an enemy, they're now shred by 5%. If I hit them twice, they're now shred by 10%. If I hit them 3 times, they're now shred by 15%, so on like that, right? So basically, as you stack up Black Cleaver, you're going to be doing more damage because each stack of the Black Cleaver is better. Then at 5 stacks, you're at the 25... At 5 stacks, you're already at 25% armor pen, whereas with the old system, with 5 stacks, you'd be at 20% armor pen. So I hope that makes sense for people, especially champions that can't stack it as fast, like Aatrox, hypothetically, if anyone should happen to play him. This makes it a better, more advantageous item. In addition to that, it now builds out of Phage, Caulfield's Warhammer, and Ruby Crystal, giving it a much better build path that might actually be good for once. Because right now his build path is so terrible, you basically don't have an item until you complete it, because all the components suck. Riot continues to push Phage as if it's a good item people want. No one wants Phage. It is a terrible item, and nobody wants it. Okay. Then the movement speed is going for 20 for all champions. It used to be only 10 for ranged. Okay. Now, even if you mitigate the physical damage, it applies the stack as well. Hullbreaker is being changed. It will now have its damage reduced by Urgod's W. That's it. That's the entire change. Ravenous Hydra is getting a buff, a good buff, a large buff, a healthy buff. When you activate Ravenous Hydra, lifesteal now applies as if there was 150% of it. So if you have Ravenous Hydra, you apply it as if you had 18% lifesteal instead of 12%. Should you happen to have 30% lifesteal, I don't know how you would get there, but hypothetically, if you did, then Ravenous Hydra would apply as if you had 45% lifesteal. Does that make sense to you guys? It's not really that impactful. I doubt this is really going to change anything. I'm going to be blunt. They're like... I don't even know, man. It's just like the problem is... Oh, and here we go, Stridebreaker. The problem is Stridebreaker has kind of surpassed Ravenous Hydra. And most champions that were or could have gone Ravenous Hydra are now just going Stridebreaker or Profane Hydra. Ravenous Hydra is now the redheaded stepchild Hydra, the one that's just worse at everything for no reason. Okay. Though we think Stridebreaker is appropriately powerful in its current state, it has a few bugs and pain points that keep it from feeling as good as it should. Okay, what are they doing? Bug fix. Passive movement speed is applied as soon as you deal damage instead of after a short delay. It now functions even if the damage is shielded. It didn't give me movement speed if they were shielded. Well, I'm going to be honest, I didn't even notice it. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even... Half the time I don't even remember that Stridebreaker gives me movement speed. Half the time I forget. Active movement speed now properly decays over the full duration of 3 seconds instead of decaying to 0 over 1.75 seconds. So you will get way more movement speed on this item, because the movement speed will decay over 3 seconds instead of over 1.75 seconds. That is nearly double the movement speed. That's it. So actually a fairly large buff. I don't know why they're saying, like, it's a good item. Here's a fairly significant buff for it. So, go ham, I guess. You're going to be Speedy Boy. Speedy Boy. Okay, Terminus. Okay. Terminus is being buffed pretty hard. Okay. Basically, instead of needing 10 attacks to stack it, you will now only need 6 attacks to stack it. Does everybody get that? Okay. I would read through the rest of these, but that's basically the entire thing. Instead of stacking it over 10 seconds, you stack it over 6. Surely this will lead to absolutely no balance issues because Terminus has proven to be a very balanced item that, yeah, okay, whatever. Who gives a shit? It's just going to break more stuff. We already got Kraken Slayer breaking shit. Might as well chuck in Terminus. Okay, so now they're kind of nerfing support items. You will get the first charge on your support item faster. Instead of starting at 208, it will start at 150. That will allow melee champions, or I should say melee supports, to execute minions quicker into the game, which will then allow them to maybe contest level 2. That's their idea. That's what I've seen. Whether or not that works, I don't know. But basically, they want supports to be able to contest level 2. But the quest, the charge cooldown is going from 18 to 20 seconds. So you'll get the first stack a little bit faster, but you're going to complete the item a bit slower. Okay. And then they're just doing all that, blah, 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 blah. Bounty of Worlds is being buffed. I'm going to be dead honest. I don't even remember what that item is. Blood Song is being nerfed on ranged champions. Shocking, I know. Crazy that it's overpowered on ranged champions. Who knew it's been overpowered for 2 months now? Not me. I had no idea. Solstice Slay is being changed. Instead of healing 120 health, now heals 7%. That breaks even like around 1700 HP. So if you rush it, it's a little bit weaker. But like by the time you're at 2 items, you should definitely have enough HP. So I'm going to call that a buff. And then instead of 90 movement speed decaying over 4 seconds, it's 30% bonus movement speed decaying over 3. That also seems like a buff, and I'm not really sure how it could be seen as a nerf. Okay. This is the item that all the AP champions go to do the funny poke, like Janna and such. Okay. So the cooldown is going down early game? Down. But the damage is also going down. Instead of 50 base damage, it's 20. But it will use 20% of your AP instead of 15 and do 4% max HP instead of 3. So a little bit less powerful early game, but as the game progresses, it will get much. I shouldn't say much. It'll get a bit stronger. Not like, oh my god, stronger, but yeah, you know, a little bit. Okay, AP mana items are being buffed because they were perfectly fine and balanced, and Riot got bored. They just got bored. Okay, don't hate them. They got bored. They walked into work one day. Someone said, I'm bored. Let's just buff mana AP items. They're doing fine. Everyone's building them. They're absolutely playable. But screw it. I'm bored. Why is there not more Gragas top? I'm bored. So, yep, Archangel Staff is being buffed from 20 ability haste to 25. Luden's Companion is being buffed from 20 ability haste to 25. Malignance is being buffed by 20 ability haste to 25. These were obviously very weak items that were not being built, is sarcasm that no one could actually say with a straight face. Lethal Tempo is being nerfed in the early game and buffed in the late game on melee champions. Shockingly, after like 2 years, Riot has realized, hey guys, I don't think there's supposed to be a rune that gives you 1,500 golden stats at level 1. That seems excessive. Is it really supposed to be giving those many stats at level 1? And somebody finally said, wait, I remember how to do basic math. Wow, that does seem broken. Honestly, like, I literally can't think of any other way it could have gone in my head. Literally just a rider just, like, slams into the room. Guys! I passed the first grade. I know basic math. Lethal Tempo is overpowered early game on melee champions. Everyone's like, what? Ugh, okay. These just trackers. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, the fountain is being buffed. You heard me. The fountain is being buffed. Instead of healing 2.1% max health every 0.25 seconds, it now heals 2.6%. That means the fountain will heal for about 25% more, which gets you back into the game to die to Jace again. Or at the very least, I guess you get poked out, because if you were damaged, that means you didn't die. So I guess you can back against Jace and then heal and then get back into lane, then immediately lose all your health, back, heal, get back to lane, lose all your health, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay. This is a big tether change. Okay, this is actually kind of a very big deal for some of these champions. And yeah, this is actually kind of a very big deal. Okay, let's talk about it. Aatrox W. So basically, tether ability changes. Have you ever had a moment? Blah 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 blah. The second you leave a tether, it will instantly break. The second you leave a tether, it will instantly break. Everybody get that? Now they're saying what champions that affects. This is basically a nerf for every champion. Got it? Okay. Aatrox W. Note, fixed a bug where the tether pull could sometimes ignore the tether range check in the last 0.25 seconds. Okay. Aatrox's W nerfed. There's really no way to go around it. Very frequently, people would flash at the last second of Aatrox's W, or use a movement ability, or do something like that. This would cause the tether to not break, actually, and it would pull them back in. They would waste their flash, and they would die anyway. Because it no longer does that, that is a nerf. There's really no way around that. That's a nerf to Aatrox. How much will it affect his win rate? Probably not that much, and it's very fair to do, and they should have done this a long time ago, if you want me to be blunt, okay? Fiddlesticks W. Note, tether break range increased. Okay, so Fiddlesticks' W, if you get out of the range of drain, it instantly breaks now. But, to compensate, the range was increased from 700 to 725. Ilawi E, Karma W, and RW, Kled Q. Note, this ability cannot use area checking due to changing tether range. However, it now checks the range 20 times per second instead of 4 times per second. I like how they're literally saying, man, we coded this ability super jank and we don't really know what to do with it. So we just increased its netcode update by 5 times and we hope that solves the problem. I like how they're literally just saying that. Like, guys, we don't know who coded Kled W, or say Kled Q, but it's really jankily coded. So screw it. We just increased its tick rate by 5 times. That'll fix the problem. In all honesty, it probably will. It probably actually will. LeBlanc, no, there's a 0.25 second grace period on hitting LeBlanc E plus RE before the tether will break visually. This is intended so that players can see that the tether hit a target, but it does mean that for 0.25 seconds, the tether will be attached and out of range. Okay. So what they're trying to say is the tether will always last for 0.25 seconds to signify to the LeBlanc player and to the other player that the tether did actually hit you. Because I imagine that's done because LeBlanc can proc her Q burst damage with the tether. So showing that the tether hit you and that's why you just took 10 billion damage, that probably helps some people like understand what just happened, which is probably a good thing. What are you going to do? Nocturne E now instantly breaks if you get out of range. Morgana R now instantly breaks if you get out of range. Renata Glass Q now instantly breaks if you get out of range. Zac Q, no, tether check changed from center check to edge check. Tether range decreased from 1,000 to 900. That doesn't really mean a lot. What it does, well, no, it does mean something. It means that if Zac makes his model really, really big, his Q tether no longer actually gets smaller range, technically. So, if Zac makes himself big, it makes his tether bigger. Everybody get that? Okay. Red side camera adjustments. The red team offset camera option has been adjusted to show more vision on the bottom of the screen compared to live. This is intended to increase visibility for those who use this option, as the UI should now take up less of the space you'd normally be clicking on. The left is before while the right is after. Cool. Keep going. I don't play ARAM. You don't play ARAM. The changes I gave players, but blah 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 blah. Quick play stuff, nobody cares. Mythic shop rotation, that's for skins. Bug fixes. I don't think there's any big bugs here. Wow, why are there so many? Holy crap. None of these really do anything though, from what I've seen. It's good to have bugs fixed though. I do like bugs getting fixed. Did they finally do the yeah, we go. Wait, no. Fix the bug that caused Kanik Rookin's health bar visual to not appear for form swapping champions. That seems like a big deal. Huh. Odd. Okay, new skins. I'm tired. I don't want to go through them all, so we're gonna go through them in a hurry. Porcelain Protector Asol. Yep, that's Asol, right? Victorious Tryndamere. That's old Tryndamere, all right. I like it. Porcelain Darius. That sure is Darius wearing a skin and color set that I would never pick. There's probably a chroma that actually makes that look good. Because the design is nice. It's the color that sucks. There's definitely going to be a chroma that makes that look good. Porcelain Graves. Okay. Does Riot remember, despite being gay, that Graves is actually an outlaw who's like murdered people before? I know he's like gay now, so he's like suave and handsome, but like they do realize that he is an outlaw bandit, right? Like that's why he looks gruff. That's why his voice lines are the way they are. I don't want to go too far into it, but like I kind of don't like how his personality is flipped into silly goofball. You know, it just okay. Am I too old now? Porcelain Morgana. Literally perfect in every single way. Literally flawless. Absolutely stunning. Literally the best skin to ever release this year. Actually, Morgana will actually never be surpassed. Best skin ever. 13 out of 5. It's literally 27 out of 3. 92 stars. Okay. Shitty. Not Morgana. Awful. Not even good. Everyone hates it. Everyone just says, I want Morgana, which is perfect, right? Who cares about you? Once again, is this Morgana? No, don't care. Prestige Porcelain Kindred. Okay, the furry can stay. We like the furry. Okay. You know, maybe we take the furry and the Morgana. Okay, that's fine then. They have the chromas? Okay. Wait. Okay. Victorious Tryndamere. I'm gonna be honest. I think his base skin blatantly looks the best. Why did they color his hair? I don't like that. The coloring his hair and the chromas I don't like, because like the whole thing is he's old Tryndamere, but then you color his hair and he doesn't really even look like old Tryndamere anymore. In fact, he definitely doesn't look like old Tryndamere. So what was the point? Why did we? Okay, whatever. Where's the other ones? When we see the I'll be dead honest. I was actually looking forward to the Darius ones. I'm not even joking. I actually thought the Darius chromas were going to look really good. I like the armor design. I just hate the color. So I was like looking forward to the chromas. Now they don't have the chromas. Okay, that's it. Riot has ruined my day. I'm done. I'm done with this video. I'm done. Literally, the only joy I could have had in life today is ripped from me. Stolen. Okay. I'm too tired. I'm sorry. Everyone who subscribes to my Patreon, you're beautiful people. I love you. You support me. You help me out. You help me pay my rent. Patreon people, I love you. I love you so much. You're amazing. Everyone else who made it this far in the video, I like you too, but you know, kind of like as a friend, really. YouTube subscribers, or I should say members, you're brilliant. Kick subscribers, you're also brilliant. Like you guys, love you. Anyone who likes this video, I'd like you back. Anyone who leaves a comment, you're commented. So thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, everyone.